all done. My feet are killing me, and one engine is done, all ready to go. Now, this engine has to be mounted on the car, and then base tune on the car. You understand? It's really rich as we speak, and once it's on the car, with the proper exhaust that it's going to have, and the proper 3011 fuel, instead of this heavy oil, lower percentage nitro fuel, that's when we get a base tune out of it. I want to try to get a nice idle, somewhat of an idle in the beginning, and then I want to get my high speed. I'm going to dial in my high speed. I'm not going to go too crazy in the beginning. We're going to still keep it somewhat on the rich side, but we will get a good base tune, safe area, and that way it moves, it cleans itself, and it can idle. And then I'll either lower the low or raise the low. See, all right, and adjust your needles accordingly. I will not touch this idle gap screw because this idle gap is perfect. And how I adjust my idle gap is with a tool like this. See, this here is a 1/2 millimeter. This wrench is 1/2 of 1 millimeter. Understand? It's very hard to find something like 1/2 millimeter. All right, there's some needles. There are many ways of getting something that's 1/2 millimeter. So I use this, and since it's small and it's very easily, you can lose this very easily. I put yellow tape on my stuff that I want to find. So here it is. So I use this. I'll give you an example. I go like this. It's your carburetor. I put this here, right? And then I'll adjust this. Boom. See that? I'll close it. I'll do that without the venturi. I'll take the venturi out. I'll do that. I adjust my idle gap to 1/2 millimeter. Right? Then I'll reinstall the venturi, and look. This is an old car. You could barely see it almost open, you know. You see the little gap there with the venturi, but this is an older Pico. But even over here in the new rules. And that's it. That's how I do it. And then I won't touch my idle mixture screw. I will lean my low speed little by little until she can idle. Once she idles, obviously it has to be at temp. You cannot do this when the engine is cold. Preheat your engine to 200 effing degrees. Do not do this shit. Do not forget to preheat your motor. Don't be adjusting any damn mixture screws. Don't adjust nothing unless your engine is freaking warm, hot. Right? 200 degrees. It's hot. Make sure it's hot. All right? 205 is fine. 220 again. Whatever. Then adjust your low speed. All right? Until she can idle. When you get a little idle out of her. And then put it on the ground once it's on the car and drive it. Go back and forth, clear it, full throttle it, clear it, bring it in. You're gonna have to adjust your high speed. You're gonna have to lean your high. Lean it until she starts clearing up. Once she starts clearing up, it's gonna sound better and better and better. Then it's gonna be fast, but don't go too much, all right? Just keep her, you wanna see a little cloud of smoke, all right? Especially in the beginning. Later on, after you run about a gallon, even before that, you will run another quart through it and drive it, have fun with it. Later on, you could adjust your high to start spanking some ass. But let me tell you something. Modded engines like to stay on the fat side. Do not look. When I'm done with this, what I've noticed from Neil's engines, the modified ones from TNS, that I don't adjust shit. Boom. It's my abused modded TNS 28A. I never adjust my high anymore since the beginning. I never F with my low because my idle, this thing idles like amazing. It idles great. It purrs. It's awesome. I haven't even touched my freaking high-speed mixture. It's unbelievable. Right? Stock ones I notice every now and then, or if I go upstate New York or somewhere else, I may have to do a little twitch here or there. In the fall or winter time, you're gonna have to do a little. You'll have to see how it sounds and reacts. So it's all. But just remember, always preheat your motors. Start off in a good spot. A lot of people mess up their tunes when their engines are cold. They have a hard time keeping them running and all that shit. They go through all that crap, and they have a hard time with the hub.
Well, you heard it from the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Zah! Anyway, what's up, Nitro Nation? I gotta be to work here in a little bit, but I decided to do a quick video, a little update. What's going on with the Muggy? Obviously, you see in front of me, I have a completely torn down, gutted, gone through everything. I mean, come on, people. Who do you think you're talking to? You know the Muggy Maniac, when he gets down and gets busy on his whips, man, I'm polishing every nut and screw. That's just me. Doesn't mean you have to. That's just how I am. I invested the money, so I need to invest in the time to protect my investment. It's smart nitro to me, but you do what you want. Anyway, you heard what Mr. Sahhhh said, man, and the reason I've been watching a lot of his videos, a lot of the Adam Drakes, because those are the two guys that I learned a lot of their, especially their break-in stuff. There's a lot of other videos out there. Mike Croddick has a real different way of doing it. Ty Testman's dad doesn't even run it on a bump on a box. He fires the thing right up and starts, you know, doing the figure 8 right at the beginning. I don't even think he does heat cycles. Well, he heats it up, but I don't think he even does heat cycles. So anyway, there's, like I said before, and you know, I've heard Adam Drake say, there's not one right way to break in a motor. But there is a wrong way to do it too. I've seen people change the plugs. They get the bright idea and think that, oh, you know what? Maybe these Italian engineers don't know what the hell they're doing when they put a certain plug in the motor to be broken in with that plug. Let me try to put a different plug inside of it and break it in a different way. Because what I'm saying is these Italian engineers that designed this motor don't know what the hell they're doing. And I've seen people do that too, which is totally retarded. But anyway, I mean, I basically, the first person I ever seen break in motors is Mr. Sahhhh. And he's got a lot of experience, not just in break-in motors, but the motor that I had for the first time was my first quality motor, which, as you guys know, a Nova OC 28.8 Rex Legend. He's broken in tons of those Rex Legends. And not just broken in motors, but he's broken in modified motors. Which brings me to my next subject. I have my 3, I don't have them yet, but just to kind of give you guys an update where my motors are. The guy that's doing my motors at RC Renew, the owner, he is cool because he's sending me pictures and giving me updates, and he's kind of, you know, it's like, you know, those expensive exotic cars. I know the Nissan GTR, which is basically a Skyline. Those of you that are car enthusiasts or that like rice burners or that like cars, I love any car that's freaking fast. I don't give a shit if it's a rice burner, if it's Italian, if it's French, if it's Mexican, Korean, I don't care. Okay? I just like fast, I like, you know, badass cars. And the GTR, when they first came out with them, they were, you know, they weren't cheap, and you were able to kind of follow the design of it. You can go online, they give you a code, and you can see where the process is of your motor. Oh, here, we've got the chassis built, or we've got the motor in it, or we're putting the seats in it now. It's pretty cool. I've never actually seen it, but I know friends of mine that I have a couple of friends that own Nissan GTRs. And by the way, 500 horsepower stock out the box, that bitch is fast. That is a fast, sick ass. If I was going to own any rice burner, that's the one I'd have. The Nissan GTR. Okay, and I don't know what the new one looks like. You see them here and there. You don't see a lot of them because they're not cheap. But anyway, so Lance is you know, at RCR Renew, which is RC Renew. You guys know where these motors are anyway. It's no secret. A lot of people, friends of mine and mentors, and a lot of people told me that I shouldn't share who I'm getting my motors modded through, because then people are going to want to get them done by him and blah, blah, blah. Because there are people out there just like to copy me. There's not a lot of original people. There's more people that just copy. And the reason that is that I'm finding out is because people that copy, they can't be themselves or be original because because they're boring. Nobody wants to watch them. I mean, how do you get I know there's guys out there that have channels that have hundreds of subscribers, and they can't even they can't even bust 150 views. 200 if they're lucky. I don't get that. I only have 250 something subscribers, and I probably average over 300 views per video. there's more people watching me than subscribing, which either way, I don't care if anybody watches. I don't care who subscribes. Doesn't, you know, all that doesn't matter to me. I would rather somebody unsubscribe and give me tons of thumbs downs than give me any accolades, because that's not why I do this. I do this to share what I love with a passion, and I like to help people out. And I'm going to help a guy out. I actually went on his video and made a comment, but I know he's going to watch my video because he's been watching my videos for, geez, probably a year now. But he needed some help on a motor that he just got that I'm pretty familiar with. Being that I own 3 of them. 2 of them are, the second one's being modified, which you're looking at here. So anyway, Lance is doing some special work because he knows I'm running these motors, and I'm going to compare these motors against the motors that Rick did for me. I want to see what the difference is. And by the way, Lance knows, he knows Neil when Neil was nothing. And FYI, I don't want to put, you know, his business out there, but just so you guys know, regardless of what you heard, Neil stopped modding motors because he had no choice, okay? He didn't stop motors because he just didn't want to make motors anymore. There was reasons why he stopped making motors. Good or bad, I don't know why. I really don't know the whole story. I don't care. All I know is it's not what a lot of people think. And it's not for me here to say, so, you know, I'm not doing a video to say that Neil's bad. Neil, from what I heard, I've got different reviews, you know, just like from Rick. But until somebody does my motors wrong, I don't give a shit what I hear, or what somebody says, or, you know, hey, this guy did this, and hey, long as my motors are good, and I'm happy with my motors, I could care less what they do with anybody else's motors. That's just me. Do I think it sucks that people that have different, you know, opinions of a person? Well, that's all they are, is opinions. And you know the old saying, they're like assholes, they stink and everybody has one, but who cares? So anyway, to get back to what we're talking about, you know, Lance is above and beyond what Neil was, okay? Or what Neil does. So for those of you guys that know Neil and know his work, well, I'm going to show you the difference between that. You were going to see firsthand when I get these motors in. That's my Rex Legend. He's just putting his tattoo on the head. There's my OS. And he's doing these motors because, I mean, he does motors, but I've been talking to him and just picking this guy's brain. And there's the LRP .32. Because I do my homework. Unlike some people that just talk a lot out their neck or talk out their ass and make ignorant comments because they, and you know, and that all that is, like I've said before, it's just lack of knowledge or information. That's ignorance, okay? And there's tons of it out there. But unlike a lot of people, I like to do my homework. If the guy's going to get my money, just like when I buy my whips, it takes me a long time. I'm still looking for my buggy. I'm in no hurry. I've got whips. I've got sick-ass whips. Okay? But I want more. Just like I've got sick motors, but I want more. These will be my next 3 modded motors. If you guys have watched my old videos, the last motors that I did, that I broke in, that I have videos on, you can go look at my videos. They're posted still. By the way, I unlocked all my videos. Because I don't have nothing to hide. You know, I'm not going to let people out there dictate how I do what I do or change the way I do things. This is the way I do it. I put all my shit out there. If you guys, people want to steal my ideas and people want to take the credit for shit that I come up with, then who cares? You know, the truth will be exposed sooner or later anyway. You know, people can do bad all by themselves. They don't by any means need my help. You know, I've been called every name in the book, and, you know, which, you know, I am going to unbox something, you know, just to show you guys that there is actually people out there that really give a shit about me. And if it's just one person, like I've got tons of goodies over here. The main one's not here yet. Lance should be done with my motors. I'm going to talk to him today. I've been talking to him every day. He's just kind of keeping me posted of where he's at. I told him no hurry. He's got a pretty good turnaround time though, and he said he takes his time because him, unlike a lot of modders, Lance will sit there and micrometer all your shit after it's done and check every single measurement to make sure that it's perfected. That's how he is. I mean, this guy, and then, like I said, if you guys think that Neil was all this and all that, and Rick, you know, I'm not saying anything bad about Rick or Neil, but those guys are like, compared to what Lance is a whole another level. You know, I know my motor shit, and you know the type of industry that I'm in. I'm a gearhead. And I picked all, you know, except for Neil, just I only went by what John said. You know, but then again, John was dealing with an old Spec 2 or Spec 3. John is never on video that I know of, and I'm not saying that he hasn't run it, but I've never seen Mr. Bodegel break in his own. He did his buddies, you know, but they also were modified by Neil, which is, Neil's shit was good, but compared to Lance, his shit was rookie. And I'm just going by facts. Guys that know these guys. I'm not just making this shit up. And Rick, I have no problem with Rick. Rick's great, and Rick does really good work, and I'm happy with all three of my motors. Matter of fact, I'm going to get ready to run my badass little Mugen MBX 5 Prospect here. Prospect, with the same reds, RCR, my little, this is the only scrub motor that I have. Basically, it's bone stock. I did a little light porting and crank work to it, but not much. It's still stock. It's got the Triton pipe in it because I'm still running it. And I want to run this thing again because I've got it pretty much dialed in, but I want to really just, I mean, a bass tune's one thing, but I want to get this thing just money. As soon as it's money, which hopefully I'll run later today when I get off work. You guys will see the video, hopefully. But I also want to get to the front and rear diffs as well. I've already changed the center. It's 125K I've got in there, and that's working really well. I like it. It's hooking up a lot more, but I'm still a little bit loose in the back and a little bit in the front. Okay, and it's because there's only 50K in it. And it's once it gets, it's been a while since I changed it, it's probably getting thin. So I figure one more rip session out there and the front and rear will be ready to be done. I suggest personally, with my experience, that you change your diff oils depending on how much you run. But let's just say you run, I would say at least I don't know, a half gallon. It all depends on how they feel. You just got to feel them. You'll know from when you put them together and build them, and how they feel when you twist them, and then how they feel when they get loose. Does that make? I don't know if that makes any sense. Here, I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about, since I have a couple diffs that are done. This is, I put 60. This is the front end of the Techno. By the way, I suggest these highly. This thing saved a lot of my front end. I probably would have destroyed my center diff if it wasn't for this. Now, Techno doesn't make, or anybody doesn't make, an aftermarket front piece, which is this piece here. This piece here is the part of the brace that goes on here, like this. I'm going to see if I can work, because I work with metal, I'm going to see if I can get one made. I would love to get this piece 70-75 aluminum. But the only thing available now is this stuff. You can get these, they're out there. They're like 20-something bucks. 70-75 aluminum. This is the top servo saver brace. I recommend these, because if you get a runaway or you nail something head on, even though as tough as the Technos are, without that brace right there, you're going to do a lot of damage, trust me. When I had that runaway, if it wasn't for this piece, I would have done a lot more damage than just bend my center and rear drivetrain. But anyway, when you feel it, you can. It's got 60K in it, and it's fresh. Now that bitch is like, that sucker is like tough to turn. I mean, it's, and then when you later, as you run, and when you tear your vehicle down and you check it, you'll feel when it starts to get loose. And you know, when it gets to a certain point, you obviously want to change it, change your fluid. Okay, but anyway, I want to do the buggy one more time before I get into my Mugen MBX 7T race truggy, which is what I'm going to be running after that. So I can tear this all the way down. I semi-cleaned it from the last time. It was dirty, but I was able to get it pretty semi-clean. Oil up it a little bit more, and I'm going to run it one more time, beat the hell out of it. We're going to rip her ass around, get this thing completely dialed in, and then tear it all the way down and put 60 in the rear and 60 in the front. I'm doing all that in all my vehicles, one by one. This thing, the same thing. This is going to have 125K in the middle, 60 in the front, or 60 in the front, 60 in the rear. That's going to be my new deal with diff fluids, because I've been running the 100K in the middle and the 50K in the front, and that's just not working. I'm still spinning tires and losing power. And I want all my power to the ground. So I'm going to see how that works. So far, the buggy is the first one getting it done. The Techno now has it done as well. I've got 125K in the middle here. Okay, and by the way, I had a few upgrades that I finally got around to. I highly suggest an upgrade on the Techno if you have Technos, is the center spur. The ones that come on, original ones, they're pretty... Nah, well, I'm not going to say they're tanks, but they're heavy. So what I did is I removed it. I don't know where it's at. I got it. I think I got it in my spare parts. But I removed it, and I put this one on here, and I upped 2 teeth. So I gave it a little bit more top end, I believe. The original ones that come in the Technos are a 46, and they're solid steel. And they're heavy. Compared to this one, it's got all the it's a lighter steel. It's steel, but it's just those holes, believe it or not, make a huge difference. Cooling wise and weight wise. And these are not the stock disc brakes either. These are aftermarket. I forgot who makes them. I don't know if it's Kingheads, I want to say MTC. But these are aftermarket, because the ones that come on the Techno, they're okay, but they're not. These are way better. I mean, you think the brakes are good on the Techno with stock ones? Put these babies on. This thing will stop on a dime and give you a nickel back. It's almost too much. It's almost to where I got to really lighten the adjustment, or this thing will do front flips. it'll do endovers. Those are that I have, but I just never put them on. Also, I highly recommend, if you have a Techno, because the Technos, I'm not surprised that they didn't come with them, but they don't come with titanium turnbuckles. All those turnbuckles on the Technos, when you buy the kits, are steel. I replaced them. Now, they're going to be pricey. Lunsfords are the best, and they're not cheap. ProTech makes some that are pretty reasonable through A-Main, but I just went with the best. Might as well. Lunsford has been around forever. So I suggest, if you want it to be more durable, put titanium turnbuckles all the way around, which is what I did. That's why I'm glad that even though I kind of wish I would have bought a kit and built it, but then again, I'm glad I didn't, because all the money that I saved, the $400 I saved not buying the kit and getting it pre-owned, I put probably more than that already into it, and upgrades, because that Techno is great, but there's a lot of upgrades you need to do if you want this thing full beast mode, ready to rip, ready to race, all that. Okay, you want to lighten it up. Those are a few things that I just mentioned. Disc brakes, those disc brakes are actually lighter than the stock ones too. Titanium turnbuckles, the center spur, are all ways of lightening the load on this thing. Not that it's a pig, but you got to remember, those arms, because they're solid, that's where a lot of the weight is on the Technos. So it's kind of give and take. But anyway, I've also redid my body wrap with the carbon fiber. I've got more of that stuff coming. Cleaned up. These are badass, man. I don't know. Somebody asked me about these, and I don't know where the guy got them from. Because remember, the guy raced this. The ones at the Techno one are okay, but they're plastic. I mean, I'm into the carbon fiber, aluminum, titanium. That's just me. I'm into the manly shit. The plastic stuff's, I mean, there's only certain things that you know, if I could get all this shit, if I could get these radio trays in carbon fiber, oh, hell yes. On it like a hub on a hot dog, but it would probably be it'd probably be a third of the vehicle. But I have extras of these. I'm kind of going through contemplating whether I want to switch, because this one, I don't know, see which one's in better shape, and if I want to redo my own wiring. I did find this sticker. Check this out. You can tell that I think it's a racing term, because remember, the guy raced this thing for a season before he sold it. Risk it for the biscuit. We got the Techno 100T in there, which was highly recommended by a lot of people, including Mr. Turd, I mean Nitro Nerd. And then I've got the JX in the front, so we're going to give that a go at it. I've got a couple glitch busters on the way. I'm trying both. I want to get it, because the ones I've had for a while. I'm going to try the ProTech ones. The ones I had before, they're not ProTech, so I want to try the ProTechs. And I hear a lot about Spectrum. So I have one Spectrum coming. I'll probably put it in the most vehicle that would give me any problems would be the the Techno because it still has the Fly Sky IT4S in it. Okay, and the IT4S works great in the Techno. And I've never, ever, since I put it in here, because that Fly Sky IT4S was the reason that I bought it in the first place, was for the Techno. I didn't buy it for any other vehicles, but I figured, you know what? Their receivers, as I know from the other Fly Skies, are pretty inexpensive. Let me throw it in another vehicle. And as soon as I ran it in the Mugen, I had issues in this thing here. And it got away from me twice, and I'm lucky this thing didn't get destroyed. Okay? And it's, like I said before, it's a heating issue, okay? I never had a problem with it in the Techno, but if I put it in this here, and I put it in the Mugen MBX Prospect, MBX5 Prospect, never had a problem. Also, I even put it in the, matter of fact, I might put it back in, because I like that controller, and it's a keeper. It's a great controller. Just depends what vehicle, and you gotta watch out because it has a lot of shit running through it. You know, that's why I don't use any of that stuff really, except for the temperature one. But also when I put it in the XTM, because the servo or where the receiver goes is like up to the front, no problems. But anywhere where it was towards the motor, it got hot, I had issues. So that was the end of that. I will only run it in my Techno or my XTM. I have 3 of them extra receivers, so if anybody has an IT4S and they want to run it in another vehicle that's not by the motor, I'll give it to you for free. Let me know. You can have one. I've got 3 of them. I only need one. I'll give an extra one away. But anyway, get back to this. So I redid this. Now the key to doing a carbon fiber wrap on your chassis, or well, especially on your chassis. The last time, the reason it didn't last that long is because I was too much of in a rush to do it, and I didn't cut out the holes. This time, I really took my time, as you can see, and I went through every single because if you don't, when you put screws into it, when you put your ship jack together, when the screw catches the carbon fiber, it pulls at it. So you got to clear it away so the screws aren't touching it when you take it in, and that's what will make it last. Plus, I heated it up with a heat gun. I think it came out sick. I mean, this chassis is, man, one of the most original, like unique, I don't want to say original, unique chassis I've ever seen. It looks like a fish. Look how skinny this thing is. And I'm using the Sumos. I know, shout out to 1/5 RC. He has these. He's running them on his Mugen. I have them on my Mugen as well. These are way better than DE Racing. If you want some that you're going to buy one time and one time only, these are the ones. The DE Racing rims are good for newbies and rookies and, you know, guys that are starting out, you know, all the scrubs out there or whatever, if you don't have the coin. But these aren't much more expensive, and these are 75 machined aluminum. I think the guy's name's Tanner or something, the guy that makes them at Sumo Racing. And these are, I think they look sick too. Plus, I mean, they're aluminum, man. The plastic ones, they're going to get worn really fast. I have them. I still run them. Matter of fact, I have one of them. I believe I have it on the Mugen buggy. I think. I thought I still kept it. I think I had the DE Racing with the skid plate. Where is it? Yep. That's and I like that front bumper. I might put one of these front bumpers, but I can't with the skid plate. I was going to put one on the Mugen Chuggy. But anyway, this little pig. I love these tires, man. If you can find them at your hobby shop, they're Duratrax Speed Treads double barrel. Mounted, glued, ready to rock and roll. You get 4 of them for $30. That's pretty cheap, man. And I ripped these things on the concrete that day that you guys seen that last video of mine. And they're pretty good. I don't want to probably run them on the concrete as much. They're pretty good in the grass. They didn't hook up though. I might throw the Badlands on there. These are gonna hook up like a tow truck. Oh, since we're speaking about wheels, if you want a good, inexpensive Chinaman, probably as close as Badlands you can get for like half the price of Badlands. These right here. I think they're by ZD Racing. The same with these. If you have a Truggy or a monster truck even, and you want smaller rims and tires, which will give you more bottom and mid, remember, That's another gearing thing I never heard people talk about. Tires has a lot to do with it. The bigger the tires, the less bottom and mid you're going to get, and the more top end you're going to get on your vehicle. The smaller the rims and tires, or the smaller diameter, smaller rims and tires, is going to give you more bottom, mid, less top. So that's another gearing. That's a whole nother video, but we could talk about that another time. But anyway, this is how they come. All 4 rims and tires for less than 40 bucks. Real rubber, not synthetic. This is the real deal. Holyfield right here. This ain't synthetic shit. But obviously, I mean, you can put the DE racings on them, which make it lighter, but those aren't that much heavier. Not by far. I think by like 5 grams or something. But obviously, these are the best. The best of the best of the best. DE racing rims, Badlands 1178s. They're still out there, people, so don't sleep on that shit. Get them while they're still out there. I got another pair that I'm getting ready to pull the trigger on. Matter of fact, I might just do it with the Badlands, because I want to get some Badlands too. Because the ones in my hobby shop, those MX Badlands that they make for the buggies, those aren't the original Badlands for buggies. The original buggies for Badland ones, I forgot the part number, but they're hard to find. You got to find them. They're way better than the ones that they carry in the hobby shops now. Because I was going to get them. They're like 22 bucks a set. But I want original Badlands, like the one Mr. Zah has on his 4.0. Those are the original Badland buggies, not the ones they have out now. So anyway, she's looking sexy. She's just waiting for a package that should be here today from Techno, since they're only an hour away. Which is, I'm putting brand new fresh arms, front and rear, and I've got fresh drivetrains coming for this, the aluminum ones that I bent. Now I'm contemplating if I still even want to run those aluminum ones. I mean, I got them for half price. I have the steel ones. Just these steel ones, they bend real easy. Only reason those bent is because I went full throttle into the rear end of a car tire, so otherwise I wouldn't need to replace them. But anyway, so that's what's going on with the Techno. You seen the motors that I got. Man, I can't wait, man. I've been watching John's videos, and I'm like, man, I can't wait. It's been since December since I broke in a motor, people. It's time for the next. This is the 3-headed monster that's coming this way, people. LRP .32. Drag modded by RCR. Next on deck. Drag modded also. RCR OS XR Max. Matter of fact, Adam Drake, you can go watch a video he did. He was really, really surprised on these motors, because you know he runs the Drakes and the speed what are they, the speed motors or whatever, the high-end OSs, you know. So when they came out with this one was like 300 and some change, you know, budget OS. And he did a video on it, and he was saying, except for it doesn't have a DLC code of crank and ceramic bearings, he was impressed. He said the power on it was pretty spot on. When I watched that video, I'm like, and then when I seen one of those online and I bid on it, and you know, make a long story short, I finally got one. I broke that motor in two, and I ran it, and that thing ran strong, tuned well, easy to tune, idled like a champ, and it was a pretty stealthy for a pea shooter. Okay, and you know how the muggy is on pea shooters. It's hard to impress me with pea shooters. The only 2 pea shooters that impressed me so far are that one there and the Reds. And the Reds impressed me still stock. Now, like I said, I enhanced it a little bit, but still, that's stock. Now, if you want a real Reds motor, for those of you that are Reds people or Reds heads or whatever you want to call it, the Reds enthusiasts out there, you need to get a Reds modified. By Rick, by Lance, whoever. Do it yourself if you know what you're doing. Modify a Reds and then come talk to me. You know what? That's why I got it in here. Because I know, and I've had it in my Techno, and it whipped my Techno around like nothing. You know, when they race truckies, what do you think they're using? They're using badass 21s, right? Well, what do you think this thing does in it when it's modified? Take any of those guys, the .21s that they ran, the Maximums, or the OSs, or the LRPs, or the Reds, that those guys race with their DLC and all that, take one of those and get the shit mod out of it. Man, that thing will be a beast. I guarantee you, anybody has a stock LRP .32, my Reds and my OS .21s, when I get them back, those 2 modded motors that I have will be the 2 full modded motors that I have, and we will do a shootout against them to see who's the baddest, because I want to, you know, a lot of people ask me about that all the time. OS this, OS this, and then there's a guy Reds, OS, because those are the two motors out there for the most part that are, you know, clouding the circuit of pro racing. You know, and those are stock though. We're talking modded. This is a whole nother level. That's what I'm saying. The Muggy Maniac isn't, we're not just going next level, we're going a whole nother level. These are motors that I haven't seen anybody mod in a long time. I've never seen anybody mod an OS on video. John never modded an OS. All the motors that he modded. Only ones that we've seen are, for the most part, Palomas. You know, I've never seen him mod and break into Reds. The only motors I've seen him break in are the bullshit Dynamites. He's did, you know, Palomas. I think he even did the, I don't know if he did the Roma. I never seen that one broken in. Matter of fact, I think he sent that one to Rick to get modded. And this is for John, too. If John's watching this, man, you know, I hope, and I'm going to emphasize it, when I do my big unboxing in the next couple days, and do a huge, probably one of the biggest unboxings, next level unboxings of 8-scale Nitro this year, okay, with those motors and all these other goodies that I got, I hope Mr. Zah's watching, because he always wants to outdo, you know, he wants to be the first of everything. That's how he's always been. I mean, you can go back and look at my videos. As soon as I released that video of those 3 motors that I got modded, my Pico, my Reds, and my Nova, right after that, John didn't want to be outdone, because before that, he only did 2. The TNS ones. He did a double unboxing of 2 modified motors. I did 3, so I upped them. And what did he do? You guys seen the video? He said, fuck that, excuse my language. I ain't letting nobody outdo me. I'm Mr. Zah. I'm the man. Okay, I'm the next level here. And I like that. It's brotherly, you know, challenges. It's, you know, we push each other. Sometimes we push each other the wrong way or push each other's button, but that's part of busting balls. If you can't handle that, then, you know, you might as well just go do E-word. Okay, this is man shit. Like I said, this isn't where we pick our nose, like some people say, or we, you know, this is where we talk about man shit. This isn't for the kids. You know, this isn't for kiddie children. There's other channels out there. If you guys want a rated G or a Disney channel, there's plenty of knuckleheads out there to go watch that. Okay? And those are the people, it's funny, that'll only get like a handful of views. They can't even cover their subscribers. I don't even know, that's what I didn't understand. I was talking to Lead about it. I'm like, why would people subscribe to somebody and never watch their video? Is it a charity thing? Do they feel sorry for it? That's the way that sounds to me. Like it's a sympathy subscription. Let me subscribe to the guy because I feel sorry for him. Or maybe subscribe to the guy so, you know, when it's convenient, if I see something pop up that I'm worth watching, I'll watch it. But other than that, they're not supporting the guy at all. You know, I got people that hate me, people that can't stand me, people that call me names, people that wish that I would just go away. They watch my shit all the time. They can't help it. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's because I got a good personality. Maybe because I make it interesting. Maybe because I'm not boring like some of these got that, and you make them, man, there's some of these guys who watch their videos and it's like, I'd rather chew glass. Excuse my language, it's like watching 2 flies fuck. It's crazy. And I'm like, well, how does a guy like that, or how do these people have hundreds of subscribers? But then I look and I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's it. But they have, like, you know, not even a third views on their videos. None of them. You know, but then you get guys out there that will, you know, I think when one of the guys, somebody talked shit about me a long time ago. And that was the only time he got a lot of views, was when he talked shit about me. Maybe if you mention the Muggy's name, because people hate me so much, they want to hear somebody talk shit about him. So they ramped up his videos, and then after that, they never watched him again. Which means they don't give a shit about him. People just like that drama and that controversy bullshit. That's why I try to stay away from it, and I'm not doing as much videos. Like I told you guys, I'm doing videos of unboxings, updates of what I got going on, here and there, running footage, and next level shit. That's it. I'm not doing no tutorials. Look at all the wrenching I'm doing. I mean, this thing is completely torn down to the bone. Okay? Every vehicle I have has one of these. I didn't even buy this brand new, but the guy was cool enough to print me up one. And you can print them if you're not lazy. If you're lazy, then most people don't even have a manual. I have a manual for every one of my whips. That one there is 13 years old, 14-year-old, and so is the XTM. I have full manuals for both of them because I got off my ass and printed them. Because it's vital when I'm wrenching. I don't want to put shit back. And I noticed when I was going through this just recently, there was things that weren't the right measurements. If you guys don't have one of these, don't even tear down your vehicle completely at all. I don't recommend it. Not just that, you were not going to be able to do a lot of things. You're going to do a lot of receiving of shit in the mail, and it's going to be the wrong measurement. That is the best $15 or whatever that I spent at Harbor Freight. And I've had that thing for probably over a year, and it's still going. It's not the best. It's not a Novarossi. It's not a $200 one. It's not a Snap-on one, but it works, and that's all that matters. So anyway, yeah, I'm going next level, and I hope that John, he has those 6 motors. Maybe when he'll see this video or my unboxing video, because I'm going to title my unboxing video something that's going to stand out and get his attention. I want John to at least do us, the nation, the Nitro Brothers, those people that have supported him for how long. Do us, just throw us a bone. Throw us a bone. I'm not telling you to run your shit. I'm not telling you to jump off a roof. I'm not telling you to fly your shit 50 feet in the air. I'm not telling you to take your tea. I'm not even telling you to break in a motor. Keep doing what you're doing, but just make a video of unboxing those 6 badass motors that you sent to Rick to modify, because I know you have them. And I know if I unbox these 3 and I talk up a good game, I'm not going to talk shit to John, because he's my freaking sensei, man. He's fucking Mr. Miyagi and I'm the Karate Kid. You know? And there's other guys, not just him, but he's the main guy that influenced me. And I was going back on some of my videos, my older videos, and seeing the comments that he made. And I think he kind of stepped away from making comments on my videos, and I don't even know if he probably doesn't even subscribe to me because of all the shit that was going on of me past, you know. And, you know, maybe he, you know, he said in one of my videos, said, man, he likes me because I'm very brash. I don't blow smoke up nobody's ass, because I'm really direct and forward. He liked that because he's never been like that. The only time John gets pissed off is when people discontinue shit, and I don't blame him. You know, that's why he's doing what he's doing, so he can help some of these companies, keep them from discontinuing our shit, because he, you know, and as everybody already knows, he has a big influence on these companies. If it wasn't for John, a lot of these companies probably would have discontinued all of our shit. John does what he does, and has his arms and legs and feet and everything because he's trying to keep everything going. But sometimes it's hard, you know, and he hasn't done it. He hasn't. The last time he did any 8-skull shit was a year ago, when he ran his broken down 4.0, limped into LA Bash, ended up busting a dog bone because his discs were already jacked up. You guys can go watch the video, end of summer LA Bash last year, and that was it. If he even breaks out that 4.0, and I wouldn't mind seeing it again. It's a badass vehicle. Credit due where credit's due. I mean, even though I don't like Losi and I don't care for Losi or Horizon, I hate their guts, it doesn't mean I don't, you know, that whip did a lot, okay? But that thing is wounded. He hasn't touched it, I guarantee you. He would have to tear that thing all the way completely down to kit status and rebuild it again. And he's got all the parts to do it. He just doesn't have the time to do it, and I don't think he's really interested in doing it anymore. I really doubt that John Bodega will touch 8 scale. And I pray that I am wrong. But I don't see it anymore. I think he's left it and moved on. All those RCs, 8 scale shit that he has is just shelf queens. He's too involved in other stuff. He might jump back and do a little, you know, touch up. And like I said, if you just unbox those 6 motors, I'll be happy for a while. That's all. I want to see those 6 badass motors, man. I seen you box them up and send them to Rick. We want to see those things unboxed, because I'm going to unbox 3 next level motors. Not RB mods. No Neil TNS. I'm talking state of the art, to date, next level, next generation, modern day, badass modded motors. Okay? I will own 3 of the baddest of these 3 motors that you guys will ever see, and I put money on that. Lance even said he would put money on anybody that wanted to fucking put their shit against mine. And he told me, he said, I don't run your shit against Rick's. I guarantee you will see the difference in my work. And I believe him. He ain't playing around. This guy's got 6 motor baths that like Adam Drake has. He's got CNC machining. He's got dyno machines. He's got all that shit. Rick doesn't have any of that. Rick's just the backyard mechanic guy, but he does great work. Like I said, I'm not talking bad about Rick. I am happy with the motors he did, and I have no complaints. But I think there's more out there, and I think that Lance is the guy. So let me do the homework. Let me do the legwork. Let me show you and prove to you guys that these 3 motors that I got coming in the next couple days are going to be sick, badass motors. I'm going to break them in all by myself. I might get 2 break-ins. I might get the Techno, and I might get, shit, I want to break in 3 at a time. I've seen John break them in 2 or 3 at a time. I can do it. It's just, I don't want to rush anything. I want to take my time with each motor and really take my time because I want to protect my investment. I just shelled out almost $1,000, including what I paid for the motors and the modding. And these have these motors will have ceramic bearings in them. That's something John never did. Not he didn't never do, but not his own. Okay, he has shit like that, but I've never seen it on camera. Other people's stuff, so I don't know. I hope John sees this video, and when he sees these badass motors and these next level motors that are going to be some modifications that nobody's ever seen before, on YouTube anyway, you know, that he might bust out those 6 badass motors that he got modded. At least give us that, John. One last thing before I go. Invest in one of these. This thing is the best $10 ever spent. You got to put it together. It's very easy. Find them on eBay. This tool caddy thing is badass. I love it. Because it keeps from my tools laying all over the place. And I'm bad at that. I mean, look. I got my own little pile right here of these. Because I've been wrenching. Everything's ready to go in the Techno. Clean, lean, mean. Badass. One-of-a-kind machine, people. Nobody has a Techno like this. I love these Punisher or Finisher wings. I suggest the Techno ones, they're okay. These ones, they're a little bit more money. Also, the Exotech, which I have the Exotech wing buttons on there. Those ones are 20 bucks, those little tiny crumbs. But it looks sick. I love this wing. And it's cool because it has this adjustment, so if you do get into racing, you can adjust it. But anyway, I also am cleaning up my bump box. I suggest every once in a while, don't neglect it, man. This thing, without this, you ain't starting shit. Check your wheel. My wheel's starting to get a little worn, so what I do, a tip, if you have a low-C box or one of these dynamites, you can flip the wheel. This is a low-C wheel, by the way. The low-C wheel fits perfectly on the dynamite. It's easier to get. Lasts a little bit longer, not much. This thing here, this beast here, will be ready to rock and roll probably in the next couple weeks. We might give it a... I want to throw a modded motor in there, but they don't make it, man. I don't want to do that to this thing. This thing is meant to have at most a 20.8 Rex Legend or a stock. This thing isn't set up. Even though I did all the shit to it, those gearboxes I don't think are strong enough. And I ran the Pico in it for a minute. Okay? You guys seen it until the fucking steering servo went out. So I don't know. I'm contemplating. I have spare parts. I might run a modded motor through there. I might even break in a motor in this thing. I've broken in motors in this thing before too. So, and then we got the King right here, and he's got 2 more. He's got another brother coming to join him. This is the modded RB modded 28.8. Bam! Next level. This ain't no scrub stalker. This ain't no scrub motor. This ain't no rookie motor. No newbie motor. This is the real deal, modified, next level shit. Okay? We got other motors sitting up on the shelves. I got to get to these bodies soon. I got another body for the MBX5 Pro Spec coming, which I haven't decided on the paint. I think today I'm going to go to the comic book store and I'm going to decide what I'm going to do with this one's first. This is the MBX8 body that fits on the MBX7 TR. Look at that. Nice ass, huh? Ain't she sexy? I love this whip, man. I don't think I've ran the modified reds in here. So we're going to run the modified reds team edition in here, modded by RB Mods. And I don't think I've ran the 41032 with the 9986. Which, by the way, unless you have a modded motor, don't waste the pipe on stock motors. It doesn't perform well. I've already tried it. I think John mentioned that too. Unless it's modified, the 9886 with the 41032 doesn't do much to anything. Now, when it's on a modified, man, it's money. But that Triton over there, that bitch is sick too. I love that Triton 2148. I think I'm going to get the other one, or I might get another one of those. And I'm getting another 9886 Super Strong, because I love that pipe. And I got to get my third 41032 header, because I have two of them. I want one more. So what else we got going on? Oh, didn't I say I was going to unbox something? I think I did. I got a few minutes. This is from my brother from another mother, Just Joe. And, you know, like I said, there's guys out there, tons of people. More people hate me than actually like me, but I don't care. One person likes me, that cancels out 100 haters, in my opinion. So he sent me a package, and I wasn't going to unbox it until I got the other stuff done, but he told me, and I figured that I might want to because I already know what it is. He told me what it was. And I don't even use these, but it's pretty cool that he just a thought, man. This guy is like my brother, and I have never met the guy. And he paid good money for these. He did this for John, too. I don't know if John picked it up. And he bought John a bottle of Mavic. I mean, this guy appreciates what we do, unlike some people. Oh, snaps. What? What the hell? Oh, man. I didn't know he got me. Jeez. Man, Joe, if you're watching, man, I got mad love for you, bro. I don't even smoke cigars, and I might fire one of these up with the old man. My old man does. My pops. You guys seen him before. Looks like Colonel Sanders and my beautiful mother. He loves cigars. And my uncle. I might give these out, you know. Too bad I wasn't having a child, or somebody wasn't having a child. I'd be the... But let's see what kind these are. He said they're good quality. Man, that cold cough doesn't want to go away, people. Let me see what kind they are. Excuse my camera work, people, while I try to get this dang bag open. Ah. Dang it. Okay. Cigars on the Techno. He's got a few different ones. What do we got here? We got, oh shit, what is that? Partagas? I don't know, they look Cuban to me. Where's this one made at? Florida Tobacco. Colombia? What? Oh, Campania. I don't know where that's from, but anyway. There's a few different ones. I know this guy only smokes good shit. I mean, you know what I mean, good cigars. I don't know. I'm not a cigar connoisseur, so I don't know. All I know is these aren't cheap cigars. This guy spared no expense. Oh, here we go. That looks familiar. That looks like a freaking Cuban cigar. But anyway, he sent me a bunch of these cigars, man. Hey, Joe, if you're watching, shout out to Just Joe, man. This guy, this guy's my brother from another mother. You know why he's so cool? Because he's Italian, that's why he's cool. I'm just kidding. No, he's cool, even if he wasn't Italian. I don't know. If he wasn't Italian, I probably wouldn't talk to him. But he's Italian, and he lives in Long Island, New York, so go figure. Yeah. Yo, forget about it, eh? Hey, if you don't got if you got an RTR, it's not even real. You know what we call an RTR? A fugazium. You know what a fugazium is? A fugazium is a phony. You guys ever seen Donnie Brasco? Fugazium? I guess that's what that means, phony. But anyway, shout out to you. I have another package that I'll wait for, that's in here somewhere from another brother of mine, Nitro Brothers. I get guys that send me shit, man. I got another guy, he knows the guy that has XTM stuff. I don't know, maybe he forgot. His name's Nick Conan, and he has a carbon fiber radio tray They're like 80 bucks, and I thought of getting one because it's one of the only things that I don't have in here. It's, you know, it's just a cosmetic thing. But I wanted one, but I wasn't going to spend 80 bucks. His friend has one. He's going to get and send to me. Carbon fiber, $80 radio tray for the XTM. He's going to send it to me just because he appreciates what I do. I mean, so all you haters out there and people, I don't care if there's 1,000 haters out there, you know, and 100 thumbs down. Because I got 6, 1, 2, 3, yeah, like 6 or 7 brothers that got mad love for me. I'm not, they even send me shit. So I don't know. I don't see people sending anybody else out there shit. I know John gets shit all the time. You know, they send him stuff all the time. You know, so, and that's why I like to give back too. You know, you scratch, you know, and it's not even about, hey, if you give me something, I'll give you something. I'm giving away a motor, people. I'm giving away a one-of-a-kind motor that they don't even make anymore. The Offna Hyper 21, one of the most classic, nostalgic motors that anybody that knows anything about Offnas. This and the 28s were the only 2 motors that came in those vehicles, the RTR Offnas, when they were released. And I'm going to mod it and sign it. And I'm going to throw in some other goodies. I might throw in one of my stands. I think I might throw in one of these. I'm going to give away shit. Why? Because I can. Because I care, man. Regardless of what anybody says or what anybody thinks or all the thumbs down and whatever. Who cares? Keep on it, man. Shout out to the thumbs down, people. Keep them coming. I love it. Gives me, and also thanks for the view, by the way, too. So anyway, that's all I got, ranting and raving. There's another hour to hold you guys over till my shit gets here, and it probably might be here today. I don't know. Man, I almost don't want to go into work today, man, because I just want to wait for the mailman to come to see if my shit's coming. Because I got more goodies coming. I got goodies to unopen. I've got more goodies coming. Man, this is going to be an unboxing bonanza. And I hope that Mr. Zah sees it because he needs to get those motors opened and check them out. I want to see those 6 badass motors. Okay, because now I have 6 badass modified motors. Not scrub, modified. I'm not going to just a next level like Mr. Zah. I'm going to another level above what he was doing. Okay, and I'm putting that out there. I'm keeping it real. You're going to see things that he never did. Or maybe he did, but he just didn't show on video. I'm going to show you guys everything, so I have nothing to hide. So anyway, we're going to rip this little badass, hopefully later on today. Then we're going to get into this ass over here. And hopefully we'll get this one back together by the time my motors get here. I don't know. I think I'm going to break my LRP .32 fully modded on this whip, because that's another reason why I got that motor done. I want to run permanently. The motor that will be in this Techno will be a modified sick-ass LRP .32 with the full works. No veracity carb, everything. I mean, not holding back. It's going to be it already is, but it's going to be, even this Techno is going another level of Technos. I'm putting that out there, keeping it real. So hopefully somebody else steps up to the challenge and grows a pair of nuts and decides that, you know what, I'm tired of scrub motors and scrub whips. Well, let me go next level too. Okay? So anyway, that's all I got, people. I got to get the hell out of here. And you guys have an awesome day. And remember, no matter what I say, don't do whatever you want to do. Do whatever makes you happy. Do whatever floats your boat. Okay? Do what you love to do. Be yourself. Be yourself. Don't be somebody else. Trust me, I tried to be somebody else, and I got beat up for it for a long time. And I said, you know what, let's just be the muggy. Let me be the muggy. Because the muggy is just feisty, doesn't take shit, talks shit, but I back my shit up. Okay? I don't just talk out my neck. Alright? So, do what you guys want to do. Get more than one opinion than mine. Do your homework, most importantly. A lot of guys lack that. Study, study, do your homework. The better student you are, the reason I got ahead and the reason I got to where I'm at, why I'm doing what I'm doing, is because of one reason. Because I studied and was a good student of him and other guys. I studied them. I still study him on my off time when I'm wrenching. What do you think I'm doing? I'm watching his older videos. I'm watching Adam Drake. I'm watching Croddock. I'm watching Ryan Lutz, which is the one that I do my diff builds from. He has it. Put it, old one, but still. I mean, I am a good student. Am I the best student? By no means. There's probably better ones out there. But I'm a pretty damn good student. And that's why I've got to what level I'm at. So you guys do what you want to do. For Mr. Organ Guy, Ice Pick, or whatever it's called, you got my comment. If you need have any other questions on that Rex 28.8 that you just got, hit me up. I got your back, bro. Go easy on her. I told you what kind of clutch setup to use. I told you what pipe I recommend based on my little bit experience with only 3 of those motors. Okay, breaking them in myself. And this is one thing I'll leave him with is, and I told him in the comment, if you've never broken in a motor and you just get it broken in by somebody else because of whatever, you're missing the whole boat. It's like adopting a child compared to seeing your child be born. Ask anybody that's broken in motors. Ask Mr. Zai, he'll tell you that firsthand. He treats his engines like kids. I do too. There's nothing more exciting than seeing that engine come and breathe life for the first time in your hands, compared to having somebody else do it and you get it already broken in. You're missing the whole picture of 8-scale nitro engines, engine-wise. Okay, and it's going to be very vital that you know that engine from the get-go, to the longevity of that motor lasting for a long time. Okay, so anyway, and also, no matter what you guys do, at the end of the day, no matter what you did, no matter how much of a jacked up day you had, but at the end of the day, you can say, you know what, I learned something. You got ahead that day. Don't forget that. And if you got your shit, shelf bitching it, shelf cleaning it, and a lot of you guys are getting ready to go into shelf clean mode, except for the handful of real gearheads. Winter's coming. I can already feel it out here. You guys are going to get beat down by some cold winter. So, I don't know what you guys are going to do, but I'm glad I live in Southern California. Somebody's got to run nitro. If it's not going to be you guys, I will. Year round. It doesn't give a shit if it rains, man. As soon as it stops raining, we're rocking my shit. But anyway, set your piston bottom dead center. Okay? That's all I got. Catch you guys later. Peace out.